Hi, everybody. Whoops, let me make there. Okay. Hi, everybody. This is your announcement for Philosophy 201, Introduction to Philosophy for the week of February 3rd. So we're starting week 3 of the semester. Today is Sunday. I am making these announcements on Sunday, so I'm ready for the football game. By the time you see this announcement, it will be done and we'll know who won and lost. Anyway, I'm rooting for the 49ers. I have been a fan because I grew up in Northern California. And so, I've been a fan of theirs since I was a child in the 1970s, and they were really bad. Okay, so I've been 49er faithful for a very long time. But anyway, it's a fun day, so I hope you enjoy the day, whether you're a football fan or not. Maybe you watch Puppy Bowl, right? And I think there's like a Kitten Bowl too. So there are alternatives. Okay, let's get to philosophy. So you finished module 1.1, and I will be grading those discussions that you completed last week. One thing about when I grade, I will write comments. More likely than not, I will write comments along with grading your discussion. So those comments are designed to help you. Okay, to give you advice on how to improve, let you know where maybe you went awry, okay, in your response. And so I really, really highly encourage you to look at the comments when you look at your grades. So don't just look at the number. Look and see what the comments are that I have written to you, and also look at the rubric again too, so you can see how you were graded on the rubric. Okay, so let's go to today's module, and I'm going to do another screencast-o-matic just so that I can reiterate how to proceed in our class, because this is the way. You go to modules, after you see my announcement, of course, and we are starting module 1.2, which is to what extent do our bodies determine who we are. Okay, so your self-check quiz is due February 5th, and your discussion will be due February 7th, which is Friday. Okay, so let's look at the first page of this module. All right, so here's our overview. Okay, so we're going to consider the soul and how the soul and the body are related to each other by reading one selection from Phaedo by Plato. Okay, so let me just talk to you for a minute here. So last module, we talked about whether or not there is a soul, right, or some sort of enduring self. Okay, so that was the topic of the conversation. Now we're going to look at the role that the physical body plays in determining what we are, or who we are, I should say. Okay, so, oops, I've just frozen. Sorry, that happens sometimes. I can't do anything about it. Anyway, so what role does our body play in our identities as humans, okay, in our existence? So that's what today's topic is. And so for that, we're going to read something by Plato, who is one of my favorite philosophers. And in this, Plato will talk about what role the body plays in who we are. Okay, so our objectives are to identify the main points of the philosophical theory of the place of body in determining self, presented by Plato in a self-check quiz. And then 2, discuss the meaning of critical points dealing with the theory of place of body in determining self in the reading selection by Plato in a flash class. It's a discussion. It's a class discussion. Okay. So the first thing you want to do is to read my commentary. All right. So this is where I will go over with you, kind of an overview, information about the reading assignment, kind of telling you what it's about. Okay, and so this is a really neat reading. So Plato wrote about a philosopher named Socrates. And in this particular reading, excuse me, in this particular reading, Socrates is in jail, and he's been convicted, and he's waiting actually for his execution. Okay, so and so in that time, sorry, Socrates is talking to his students, and they're talking about death. And so this is really, and what happens after we die. Okay, so that is that's what the assignment is. So you're going to read The Nature of the Soul and Its Relation to the Body, which is by Plato. It's from, like I said, Phaedo, in your book, Traversing Philosophical Boundaries. And then you'll do the self-check quiz, and then you will do the discussion. You'll complete the discussion. Okay? So that's what's happening for this week. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Now, one thing I will say is that I know that this is a subject that is kind of deeply entwined with a lot of religious beliefs. All right, so I am going to ask you to kind of, if you have strong religious beliefs, to kind of set that aside and look at this reading with sort of a fresh perspective. Okay, so and one thing to know, it's really interesting, is that a lot of sort of Christian teachings have come out of these dialogues by Plato. So anyway, because this was all written before the Christian era. Okay, so this is an interesting reading. I hope you enjoy it. Excuse me. And I better go because I'm going to cough. I will see you again next time. Bye.